Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Emmanuel Ace. I'm the admissions advisor for SUNY Plattsburgh for the New York City region. It encompasses all 5 boroughs of New York City. Okay. I want to welcome you to our presentation this evening. Okay. So I'm actually going to start our presentation now and give you hopefully a lot more information that you're going to want and need about SUNY Plattsburgh and what we have to offer our students as a college and university. Emmanuel Ace. I'll be starting the presentation just to give you more information about what SUNY Plattsburgh has to offer our students. We'll go from here. If you have any questions, please use the Q&A box as well as the chat box, and I'll push those questions, either answer them directly or push them to our 2 students that we actually had that'll be assisting for the panel. All right. So, SUNY Plattsburgh is one of the 64 schools under the SUNY umbrella. It is a 4-year public state institution. Give or take located about 5 hours away from New York City. It is housed on a 300-acre campus, has about 36 buildings, as well as 12 residence halls. I would say we're a mid-sized school. We have a little under 6,000 students that attend. Currently, give or take about 5,400 undergraduates, a little over 300 plus graduate students. We're actually founded in 1889 as an education school. We started out in 1889 with 1 major, which is education, and have actually grown to where we're at now. Like I said before, it has a 300-acre campus with well over 60 different majors that we have currently. So this is actually just a regional profile. Around 25% of incoming freshmen at Plattsburgh are comprised of New York City students. This kind of just gives you a breakdown of where those particular students come from within the New York City area. As you can see, the largest amount of students come from the borough of the Bronx, followed by Brooklyn, Queens, and then New York City and then Staten Island. Also, you can see we have our top 5 majors, which are biology, typically bio or pre-med. Psychology was also a very big major at Plattsburgh. Criminal justice, business administration, followed by accounting. So, as far as the academic experience, although we've definitely grown from having 1 major into about 60 different majors as well as 60 different minors and growing, I believe we've actually added 3 more minors as of this week. SUNY Plattsburgh has a student-teacher ratio of anywhere between about 16 to 1. So for your core classes, they won't be any bigger, from about 20 to about 25 students, give or take. The really awesome thing about that is actually makes and serves as a platform to have a very interactive learning experience when it comes to your faculty and staff as well as professors. So it gives you that platform and that atmosphere to have that personal relationship with your faculty and staff as well as your professors, to get to know them on a personal level, to also be able to come to them when you have any problems or any issues as far as wanting to know more information or if there's something you don't understand, as well as them just recognizing you when you walk into a classroom. All right, as well as just seeing them on campus and them also recognizing you, as opposed to other schools where you'd be one of several hundred students within a classroom or a lecture hall, and definitely won't be recognizable by your lecturer or your professor. So the really cool thing beyond the student-teacher ratio and actually having that platform to have that interactive learning experience and that personal relation with your faculty and staff is the staff itself at Plattsburgh are very, very, very big experts within their field. As you can see, 97% of our faculty and staff are tenured, have a PhD or higher within a particular field. So they are experts. Um, Beyond that, two of our faculty and staff that have worked at SUNY Plattsburgh have achieved the National Teacher of the Year Award, as well as well over 20 to about 22 faculty and staff have achieved the highest accolade you can achieve within the SUNY teaching world, as well as being a distinguished professor of faculty staff within SUNY. So very expert faculty and staff that you're going to have at Plattsburgh if you become a student there. Also, in reference when it comes to advisement, the faculty and staff are there to actually help you. And if you're one of the students who, at this particular point in time, have no idea what you actually plan to study, that's okay. Well over 30% of the incoming freshmen at Plattsburgh have no idea what they want to do when they come to college. And Plattsburgh and our advisement department are there and are prepared for that. So you're going to have your first 3 semesters to pretty much have an experience where you're going to be able to take whatever courses you want. Typically, you'll be taking your general education courses during that time frame as well. So you're going to you're going to have an academic advisor from the academic advising department who's pretty much going to work with you doing seminars, to workshops and surveys to help you get a better idea of what particular coursework you gravitate towards and what academic program you potentially will be able to declare as a major within that 3-semester period. Okay? For students who are actually going to have a declared major or will be able to declare a major before that 3-semester time frame, you're going to have an academic advisor from your actual academic department. So for instance, now, if you're a psychology major, your academic advisor is going to be from within a psychology department. So, hands-on experience. About well over 85% of our academic programs actually have an internship that's tied into the program you have to do before you graduate. So very big on internships and making sure that all of our students have that hands-on experience within their particular field. Beyond that, we have stellar programs when it comes to actually getting our students hands-on experience within their field, as well as a study abroad program as well. We go to well over 35 different countries for our study abroad program. We also have a partnership within the SUNY system, which allows students to do any study abroad program within any of the 64 schools, including ours, of course, study abroad program. So maybe if there's a particular country you'd like to go to within our study abroad program that we don't have, maybe SUNY Oswego or Buffalo State or UB or any of the other SUNYs within the SUNY umbrella have, you're actually allowed to do their study abroad programs as well. So that pushes the envelope from about 35 countries that are exclusive to Plattsburgh to well over 500 different countries between all of the 64 SUNYs that fall under the umbrella. Okay. So, our honors program. Typically, as you can see, our honors program is going to be very similar to a roundtable where you're going to be anywhere, more than likely no more than about 15 students per class. You're going to be sitting right next to your professor and actually have the ability to have a kind of a roundtable discussion where you'll be talking about many different innovative courses, which will be tied into your program as an honors student. Typically, when you apply to Plattsburgh, once you've been accepted as a student, you're typically invited. But even if you aren't, for whatever reason, you have the ability to actually apply to become an honors student if you aren't selected or you don't receive that invitation after you become a student at Plattsburgh, after the fact. Okay? Student support. So, the really cool thing that I also like about SUNY Plattsburgh as far as support is that we have our Learning Center. So within our Learning Center, we teach well over, or rather tutor well over 150 different courses that students at Plattsburgh have the ability to come in and be tutored for. So if you're having difficulty with any courses or coursework, you can actually come into the Learning Center and actually be tutored for free as a student to give you that extra help. Beyond that, I mentioned before that we have internships and actually promote internships for our students. We have the Career Development Services Center, which you can actually come in and get that additional assistance as far as helping you find a particular internship within your particular field or a job or even maybe a career for after you graduate as well. Beyond that, I get a lot of students as well as a lot of parents who ask about how the school or how SUNY Plattsburgh in particular pushes to make sure that our students get that internship experience and job experience after they graduate. And typically forget that there's actually a process of actually getting that job, as far as you actually needing a resume, submitting a cover letter, or actually sitting down for that interview to actually land that internship or that job first and foremost. So the Career Development Services Center is actually going to pretty much help you with that as well. Help you with putting together a resume, help you writing a cover letter, as well as mock interviewing to kind of get you prepared within that particular atmosphere to be comfortable within having that interview and hopefully landing that internship or full-time job. Okay. We also do have student support services, which is for students who have any physical or learning disabilities. They are the department that will pretty much assist you when it comes to that. We also have an EOP program for certain students as well, depending on if they fit within that particular academic as well as financial bracket as well. So, in relevance to our departments, we actually have 3 schools that our academic departments are actually broken into: the Arts and Sciences, our Education, Health, and Human Services Department, and our School of Business and Economics. So within our School of Arts and Sciences, these are the breakdowns within that particular department. Very popular majors within here. So I'm actually just going to pick a couple of, maybe 2 or 3, just to give you more information about that. So typically, so many of our pre-health and pre-med majors, biology will be the backbone, if not the support, for your actual academic program. So typically, if you're coming in as a pre-health or a pre-med major, you're going to come in either as a bio or a biochemistry major. That actually is the backbone and support for a lot of our pre-health and pre-medicine majors. Typically, there are different tracks depending on what kind of medicine you plan to go in as well, but it's a very strong program at Plattsburgh. One of our top 5, as I mentioned before. Also, we have our communications and our journalism major. Another very big program at Plattsburgh. Typically, very popular at Plattsburgh for a lot of the facilities that we have on campus as well for our students. So we're one of the very few schools within this new system that I know that actually has its own TV station, 2 radio stations, its own magazine, as well as newspaper. And typically, a lot of the students who will be involved within that major actually will be working within those facilities and have direct access to that, to give you that hands-on experience within the communications major. Beyond that, you actually do get to learn a lot of information, as well as being in front of the camera, being behind the camera, and being in the back and putting together processes as far as when it comes to the communications major as well. Okay. Now, criminal justice is another very big major that we actually have at Plattsburgh. A good amount of students that are actually involved with our criminal justice major here are looking to get into some sort of law enforcement. So we have also loads of internship experience and hands-on experience that students within the criminal justice field are looking to get their hands dirty and get that full-time experience. Typically, we've had students actually work for Border Patrol, given our location up at Plattsburgh being half an hour away from the Canadian border. So work from Border Patrol between for the United States, between Canada and the United States, as well as full-time jobs too. Okay. All right. I don't see any questions being asked so far, so I'll keep going. School of Education, Health, and Human Services. This is a breakdown of all the focuses we have within that particular major. Our education school is a very, very big school that we actually have at Plattsburgh. Typically, like I said, it's the first major we actually had at Plattsburgh in 1889 since we started out as an education school. So it's one of our, if not our oldest program, one of our more renowned programs at Plattsburgh as well. Typically, there are 3 different tracks within our education major. There is the childhood, which is from 1st to 6th grade, adolescent track as well, which is from 7th to 12th grade, as well as the 3rd track, which is literacy, as well as special education. So those are the 3 tracks within our education major. We actually also have it on an accelerated track where you're actually able to get your bachelor's as well as your master's degree and certifications within the span of 5 years. A very big program. Also within this particular field, we have our nursing program, which is another big program that we actually have at Plattsburgh. Very coveted and very well-known program. You have a 97% passing rate of the nursing exam after you graduate from the BSN program, as well as a 98.5 job placement rate after you graduate from the BSS program as well. On top of that, It is a direct admit program, meaning that as soon as you're accepted into Plattsburgh as a nursing student, you'll be taking nursing courses throughout until you graduate. Okay? Beyond that, we also have a very awesome social work program. Typically, a lot of schools don't have a social work program at the bachelor's level. Typically, you'd have to wait until you're in grad school and achieving your MSW to get more focused social work courses. Here at Plattsburgh, we have a DSW program where you actually will be taking social work courses. And a lot of times, depending on what kind of MSW program you plan to go to after you leave Plattsburgh, doing our DSW program will prepare you, if not shave off anywhere from a semester to an entire year off of your coursework as far as the MSW program as well. So another very excellent program. All right. I'm looking to see if there are any other questions. I haven't received any just yet. All right. Heading over to our School of Business and Economics. As you can see, these are all the particular focuses within our business school. Our business school is actually one of the few programs that's internationally accredited, so it's actually at the same level of a lot of our other business schools, for instance, not like the Harvard Business School or even the Stanford Business School, because we all share that international accreditation, which is AACSB. So your degree after you graduate from SUNY Plattsburgh will be recognized not within just New York State or on the East Coast or within the country, but all over the world. Beyond that, all the programs that fall within our business school are standalone programs, which is a very awesome thing, meaning they're more specialized degrees within a particular field. When you graduate from SUNY Plattsburgh, within any of these particular focuses, it will be a more specialized degree within whether it be accounting or economics, finance, wholesale management. Any one of the focuses has a more specialized degree focus within for your bachelor's degree that you'll be getting through the School of Business. In addition to that, the last thing that I actually like about our business school is that we actually have a designated internship coordinator. So for any student who's looking to get a business-based internship, that office is at your disposal. So you can go in there as a business school student and let them know that you're actually looking for an internship to do that's business-oriented, and all they have to do on their pretty much their job within that particular internship coordinator office is to find internships for our business school students. So another very popular program and School of Business within our SUNY Plattsburgh's academic programming. Okay. So we have our feature facilities where a lot of our students can actually get some hands-on experience within a particular field. We have our Nursing Skills Lab, which is actually housed within our $37 million brand new science building. That is where a lot of the nursing students will actually taking a lot of their nursing courses as well. We also do have our Plattsburgh State Television station that I mentioned before through our communications department. It's another place where you can actually get some hands-on experience right on campus within that particular field. Also, we do have our TBI Center on campus for our traumatic brain injury. So if this particular demographic of people is what you'd like to work with, you also have the option of actually getting an internship and working within that particular faculty, within that particular facility on campus as well. Okay. So internships and practicum. This is just a list of some companies and places where our students have actually worked internships. Like I said, we're very big on that. 85% of our programs at Plattsburgh have an internship that's tied into the program that you have to complete mandatorily before you graduate. So ABC, CBS, the Walt Disney Company, the Adirondack Park Agency, student teaching, and so on and so forth. Border Patrol, like I mentioned before as well. All right, so we go to our student panel. So I'm going to look at the box to see if there are any questions so far from any of our attendees. I'm not seeing any questions, so I'll just pose some questions to our student panel now. We have, so one of the questions I'm going to ask is, what were some of the deciding factors that helped you make your final decision on coming to SUNY Plattsburgh?
Okay. Hello, my name is Tiara Chess. I'm a junior, and I am from Queens, New York. One of the things, I'm a triple major in economics, finance, and management information systems. One of the factors on me deciding to go to Plattsburgh was, well, I always tell the story of how my mom I always wanted to get out of New York City. So my thing was anywhere outside of New York City. So like I applied to University of Kentucky, UConn. I got into St. John's, but even though that's in the city, but I got into a lot of schools on the West Coast. And then when I seen the bill, it wasn't affordable. But then in New York City, you're mandatory to have to apply to SUNY and CUNY schools. So I applied to Albany, Buffalo, Stony Brook, and Binghamton, and then I had two more to apply for. So Plattsburgh was one of them. And I got accepted, and I said, my mom decided to say, let's go visit Plattsburgh. And when I went up, it was like amazing because usually, like when you walk down the street in New York City, nobody says hi to you. You're just used to bum rushing onto the train, squeezing in, being claustrophobic. But in Plattsburgh, everybody was always saying hi, and it was kind of awkward at first for me. And then as we was given a tour, one of the campus students, she did not work for admissions ambassador or anything. She actually decided to give me a personal tour and show me her own room. Mind you, she's a complete stranger. So it shows like how nice and open the people are in Plattsburgh. And because it was so far and it was so cold, my mom was just like how she was never going to come up here. And then that's when I was like, this is the perfect decision for me because my mom won't be nowhere near me. But that was one of the main reasons why I chose Plattsburgh. And it ended up being like the best school ever for me.
Hi, my name is Christopher Minta. I'm currently a senior. My major is international business and I have a minor in management information systems. One of the main, well, there were basically two reasons why I came up here. One was the price. It's pretty much the most affordable school and best school you can get for your money in the area. And additionally, because I am in the School of Business, I'm an international business major. The school being nationally accredited by the AACSB was a huge one because so is other schools like Harvard, and the cost to go here is nowhere near Harvard. So it's a great place to go for your money. And once I did come up here for orientation, because you would really know when you go somewhere and you feel comfortable. And this campus is one of those campuses that it's not too small, it's not too big, it's just the right size, and everyone makes you feel welcome, and the atmosphere just makes you feel very comfortable. So that's why I love it here.
Awesome. Thanks for that, both of you. Um, who is your favorite professor and why?
Oh, trying to get me in trouble. Go
My, I,
ahead.
my favorite professor would be Dr. Chase. I had him for business law last semester, and this is bad advice, but when I tell you that he was such a good teacher, I never needed to read the book once and I got an A in the class. He explained everything so well, and he made the class so interesting that even right now I keep in contact with him. I'm actually gonna go to his office tomorrow just to catch up because he's not only is he a teacher, but our teachers are also human beings. All right, you can go and talk to them about anything, and so we keep in contact. He's a good guy, so yeah.
Mine is really hard to choose. I mean, I have a favorite professor in each department, but if I had to choose one, I would say Dr. Gaber, Mohammed Gaber, only because like my freshman year, everyone said that's the guy to talk to, and I'm like, who is this guy? Like, why do I have to talk to him? And one day I came into his office. He has this open door policy. His door is never closed. And I just introduced myself, and then I found out that he was the chairman of accounting. And basically, although he's not my advisor and I'm not in accounting, he always welcomes me into his office. I get to ask him questions, advice. This is my freshman year and I'm a junior, and yet I still go into his office, and he's like in his office till 10 p.m. Like he's in his office right now because I just left his office just talking with him. So I guess the fact that he's always there for me, even though he technically do not have to be, is what makes him one of my favorite professors.
That's pretty awesome. Okay, so I actually have a question. How often do students meet with their advisors, and how difficult is it to get a meeting with said advisor?
Well, actually, right now we're in advising week, so it is mandatory to see your advisor minimum once a semester. So basically, during advising week, they're going to send you an email. the advisor will send you an email saying, hey, I'm your advisor. Advisement week is coming up. And advisement week is basically where you prepare yourself for next semester. You prepare for the classes you need or want to take and make sure you're on the right track to graduating. So it's not hard to meet your advisor because everybody's assigned to their advisor based on your major. So I am I am a finance. I have three majors, but so I have three advisors. But being a finance major, I have one as a finance advisor. So I'm personally assigned to him. And the best thing about advising is you can always switch your advisors or add more, like I have. So that's another thing.
And one thing my advisor does is he does an online sign up. So he would send us a link, and we would go onto that particular website and just put in our name for the available time. And it's that easy. And if none of those times work for you, you would just email your advisor, and you'll work something out. And it's not just with your advisor; it's with your teacher. If their office hours don't work for you, they'll work with you to find a time to meet you because they want to meet you. They don't do it because they're required to. You can actually tell they do it because they want to.
Really awesome. Okay. I don't have any more questions from the audience just added, but what internship opportunities or research opportunities have you had at SUNY Plattsburgh?
So I recently, well, I'm a junior now, so I had two internships already. I'm on my way to my third. My freshman year, I did an internship at JP Morgan, and my sophomore year, I did an internship at Ernst & Young, EY. And based on those internships, I received one of my internships, Ernst & Young, through a club organization we have on campus called NABA, which is the National Association of Black Accounting. And basically, twice a year, they have this conference where they have Fortune 500 companies come to an event to network, help you look for internships, a full-time job, or have mentors. So it's a great way to expand your business networking. And yeah, so that's why I have my internship.
I did an internship at Hertz Corporation over the summer down in the city, but that wasn't through the school. But there is a woman, a great woman named Mary Carpenter, and she if you want an internship, you can go to her, and she'll do what she can to get one that really meets what you want to do, what meets your major. And one thing I'll tell you is internships are so important, not just because they're required for some majors, but because they show you what that industry is like, and it shows you if you really want to do that. So
Yep.
I really recommend it.
Awesome. Okay. One more question, I guess we'll continue. How was your transition to college? What was helpful during that actual process?
Transition was a big thing, I would say, because one was I was so quick to ready to get away from home that when I was away from home, I was just like, okay, so how am I supposed to do these things? Because in high school, they don't teach you about credit cards, they don't teach you about loans, they don't teach you about time management. So, and then I do my laundry, but at times I always have my mom do it for me, so it's more of like a full independent. You have no one telling you what to do, no one waking you up in the morning. So one thing I know is I just took advantage of every opportunity they have. So like when it comes to homework, I know I'm a procrastinator. I like to do things late at night, and then I realized that sometimes when I did not understand the homework and it's midnight and it's like there's nothing I can do because if I email my professor, they're going to say, why did I wait until midnight to start my homework? So they have the Learning Center, which was also mentioned in the presentation, where I knew let me set myself up with a tutor who took the class. So each one of my classes, I had a tutor for to make sure that I'm on the right track with my homework. So it's like a little mom of mine to make sure I do my homework and help me with time management because I think that's the key. That's the survival factor in college. One thing you need to develop is time management.
For me, it was actually it was quite an easy transition, but that's because I've lived in 3 different continents, so I'm used to new environments. But one thing for me that really made it easy was that I had a lot of upperclassmen friends when I came in, so they kind of showed me the ropes, they showed me around, and it made it pretty easy. So that's my.
So now I have a slew of questions coming in. So, all right. Another part to questions that I have, is it a necessity to have a car on campus, and what stores are around the campus?
It's not a necessity to have a car on campus. I only just got a car and I was fine before. There is a campus shuttle, and that campus shuttle goes straight to the mall. It goes to Walmart, Rite Aid,
Movie.
Price Chopper,
Yeah.
and in the mall we have Target, we have
Movie theater,
movie theater.
shopping, Chipotle.
So yeah, you really don't need a car. And even if you don't want to take the shuttle, the taxi cabs are not really more than $6 because everything's kind of close by. A lot of things are even walking distance. So
Yeah.
yeah,
The last time I brought my car up, I never used it unless I was driving people home from New York City and that was me making quick cash. So I was like, there's no point in bringing the car up because my the classes are right there, so there's no point in driving. It would take more time for me to drive because I have to drive around and look for parking than for me just to walk to class. But freshmen can have cars, so if you do want a car, get one. Just if the only time I bring my car up is just so I can drive back home.
Last question. Are there any feminist clubs present on campus, and are there any cultural clubs for the Black community on campus?
Most definitely, we have Club Caribbean. We have OWE, which is the
Organization for Women of Ethnicity.
women ethnicity. We have a Jewish club. We actually have a Spanish club. I know about that because I received an email about that.
African Unity.
We have African Unity. Aren't you in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, African Unity. The Arabic Club. The National Association of Black Law and National Association of Black Accounting. We have Alpha, the Association of Latino Professionals. I don't remember the name of it, but we have a lot. We have over Kinks for natural hair, so if you have kinky hair, curly hair. We just have over 99 clubs, but that's the ones I can remember off the top of my head.
Awesome.
You're in.
All right. So we'll move along. Give you guys a break, and we'll finish proceed on with the presentation. Thanks, guys.
No problem.
Okay. So, student life. You're actually mandated to live on campus your first 2 years at Plattsburgh. The thing that I actually like, it's pushes for a lot of social interaction. So being that pretty much everybody coming in to Plattsburgh will be living, especially that 10 years you'll be living on campus, you actually get to meet a lot more people. Beyond that, Plattsburgh has a healthy transfer of both international student population. I believe we're the second largest. We have the second largest international student population within SUNY, I believe. So like I mentioned before, well over 5,400 students, undergraduate students at Plattsburgh from 24 states, 64 different countries as well. Close to about 1,000 incoming freshmen as far as transfer students are concerned. Very close in number to that as well, anywhere from about 800 or a little under that as well. Diversity rate on campus is about 33%. So actually, a little under 1/3 of the campus are actually non-white students. So for students from New York City, like I said before, I mentioned about 25% of incoming freshmen are actually comprised of that particular incoming freshman population. So you're now only going to be meeting students who've gone to other schools, who are transferring to Plattsburgh, as well as other international students who are coming from different countries to the United States, to New York State, to Plattsburgh to study. But students just like you, from New York City, from the same borough, from the same background, from the same diverse nationality from you as well. So you're going to meet students from all over the place as far as student life is concerned, and meeting students and having that diversity effect at Plattsburgh. Okay. So our region, the really cool thing that I like about Plattsburgh is that it actually has a lot to offer and things that you normally wouldn't and could not do in New York City. So we're surrounded by the Adirondack Mountains, so a lot of outdoor activity, a lot of students at Plattsburgh actually participate in a lot of that. So hiking, biking, and things of that nature as well. We're actually 10 minutes away from Lake Champlain, so that's another option as far as, well, actually when the weather isn't as cold, typically I would say around late spring, summertime, seeing a lot of water activities, so fishing, kayaking, things of that nature when it comes to Lake Champlain. We're also 1 hour away from Montreal, as well as 1 hour away from Burlington, Vermont, or a 20-minute ferry ride. So you have that option as well. So I know for a fact students who will hit the slopes with Burlington, Vermont. I actually go and visit that different state and participate in a lot of other things from concerts and activities as well in Burlington, Vermont. And I've met many students who've never left the state before from New York City, as well as never even left the country. So like I said, we're half an hour away from the Canadian border, 1 hour away from Montreal. Montreal is the second largest French-speaking entity in the world next to France. So you have anything from art to culture to cuisine to shopping, you name it, Montreal has it for you. And typically at Plattsburgh, we actually do have bus trips that run students from the campus to Montreal as well for you to visit in the event that you actually don't have a car to make the journey yourself. Okay. Also went out to far away from Lake Placid, which is actually held the Olympic Games twice in history, and a lot of outdoor recreation activities for students to be participants in with. Okay. So, as I mentioned before, the really cool thing that I like about Plattsburgh in reference to New York City students is accessibility. You actually have the capability, of course, like any other school upstate, to take the buses right up from New York City into Plattsburgh. But beyond that, we have an Amtrak train station that's literally 5 minutes away from the campus. So if you have any aversions to the roads or prefer to take the train instead, which would be more convenient, you have that at your disposal. Beyond that, Plattsburgh International Airport is about 7 minutes away from the campus. It's one exit away on the highway. So you have the option of maybe even flying into New York City to Plattsburgh if that's an option as far as getting in and out from Plattsburgh to New York City and back. Beyond that, the city of Plattsburgh is a very big city. A lot of times I get students thinking that because we're upstate, because we're 5 hours away, we're in the sticks, we're in a secluded area. That's really not the case. The city of Plattsburgh is a very vibrant area, and the campus of SUNY Plattsburgh is pretty much right smack dab in the middle of it, kind of separating things between the uptown and downtown Plattsburgh, which our students have mentioned before, which has everything that you can think of when it comes to the city. So as far as malls, the movie theaters, shops, Chipotle, Buffalo Wild Wings, Friendlies, you name it, Plattsburgh actually has it. So you're not going to be completely foreign to the area. You're going to see a lot of things that you are familiar with in New York City right up here in Plattsburgh as well. Okay. So our residence hall, we actually have 12 residence halls, 2 buildings which are designated for incoming freshmen at Plattsburgh. 2 different styles. There's a corridor style as well as suite and apartment style, and we also have them in high rise as well as low rise as well. So really cool thing that I'd say I like about Plattsburgh is when it comes to the residence halls is that you have free laundry on campus, free cable, free internet as well. Like I said, 2 buildings are actually going to be designated for incoming freshmen. Typically that'd be corridor style. Corridor style is the long hallway, anywhere from about 15 to 20 rooms per the hallway, 2 occupants per room, communal bathroom in the middle. Apartment slash suite style is, as it sounds, apartment suite style, living room, the kitchen, bathrooms, as well as rooms in there as well. Typically it's co-ed, so how it works is everybody on the hallway will be of the same sex, and then the top floor or the bottom floor will be different sex, typically. For apartment and suite style, typically how it works is on the floors, suite will be everyone of the same sex or same gender, and next door will be something that's actually different as well. All right. So now as far as getting access, your ID card is going to serve as your access to get into the building, or you're going to have actual codes to actually get into the actual units and the rooms on campus. Okay. So typically how it works, and I'm getting a couple questions as far as are suites and apartments available for freshmen? Yes, I think it depends on availability. Typically the apartment suite styles are actually a bit more expensive as compared to corridor style. That's kind of how it works with that. I don't believe we have any specific residence halls for transfer students only. It really depends on availability as well to answer that question that was asked. So this is just a list of the pretty popular clubs that are on campus right now. Our students on our student panel actually mentioned some of these clubs before, Club Caribbean, as well Kinks and so on and so forth. We have well over about 100 different clubs, organizations, fraternities, sororities for students at Plattsburgh to be involved with. And let's say, for sake of argument, if you're not a big fan of any of them, you actually have the capability of starting your own club too, as well. All right. So you have that option when it comes to student activities. So between the campus itself and all the activities you will have to do, as well as within the city and the immediate area of Plattsburgh as well, you're never going to be bored. You're always going to be something for you to do. Beyond that, we also have intercollegiate NCAA Division III sports for our students. There are about 17 different sports that we have available for students at SUNY Plattsburgh. We're half an hour from the Canadian border, so as you can see, you guessed it, ice hockey is the biggest sport at Plattsburgh. The men's team is very competitive. The women's teams are actually pretty awesome. They're 3 back-to-back champs in ice hockey for women. Okay. We also have cross-country, track and field, basketball, baseball, soccer, as you can see, as well. Okay, so back to our student panel. Yes, and we asked a question about volleyball. Yes, we do have volleyball as well. All right, so back to our student panel. Can you please tell us a little bit about your living experience at SUNY Plattsburgh?
Well, when I came in as a freshman, I was actually in one of the apartment suite style dorms. Ever since I was on campus, I've always lived in one. So it is available to freshmen. It just depends on availability, like Emmanuel said.
If you have friends.
Yeah. And each dorm building, especially if you were to live in Wilson or Whiteface, the dorm buildings designated for freshmen, they have a RA on every floor and also a CA, a community advocate. And those people are there for you to use as tools to help you with your transition. They help you with student life. They point you in the right directions in terms of clubs and clubs. I'll tell you now, really go to a club, find a club to go to, because you'll meet amazing people, you'll have a good network, and you'll have fun. So.
My freshman year I came, I didn't stay in a freshman dorm because I felt that usually I say, like, if you're shy, you're not good at making friends and stuff, it's safer to stay in a freshman dorm because everybody's a freshman, everybody's new and you learn together. I wanted to stay in one of, like, the upper, well, not the upperclassmen, but one of the low-rise buildings. So I was on the floor with kids from sophomore, junior, seniors, and there was a few freshmen in my floor as well. So I got to hang out with them, and they gave me a tour of what's going on around in Plattsburgh. And as for clubs, yeah, I would say join a club. You learn so much. Like, we have a hula hoop club, and it's more than just rubbing a hula hoop around your waist. They do from neck to leg. It's craziness. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Also, if there's a club that you don't see on there, you can start a new one. And it's pretty easy to start a club, and it's pretty easy to get people to come, because people love exploring new things here, and it's just amazing.
Okay, so give me your experience of how it was living with a roommate.
My number one advice, please do not roommate with your best friend. That will ruin your friendship at the end of the semester. That's like the number one advice. You might think, oh, we're so cool, we can do whatever we want, but living together is like a whole nother situation. My advice is, if you have a best friend, have them as your neighbor and have someone new. But for me, freshman year, I didn't know Plattsburgh, I didn't know anyone here. So I filled out the roommate survey. So basically they would ask you questions about, like, do you go to sleep at night? Do you go to sleep late, or do you go to sleep early? Like, stuff questions, are you messy, are you clean? And my advice is have your parents fill that out for you, because I feel like your parents would know more of your living situation than you, because some people might say they're clean, and in reality they're messy compared to people who are actually clean. So I had a good roommate my freshman year. She was clean just like me. She was a freshman. She was actually a different major than I, and I guess I got to learn off of her, like, because we came from 2 different places. I got to learn about her culture, where she was from, what she likes to eat. So that was a way of making a new friend. But as far as roommates, I would say do the survey. The school is really good with matching you with someone. Because right now, this semester, I have the best roommate ever. I mean, I don't even know if I consider her a roommate because she has a boyfriend off campus, so she's never in the room. So I'm having basically I have a single. So trust the school and letting me room with someone.
When I came in, I actually requested a roommate, and I had met my roommate the summer before, and we both happened to be coming to Plattsburgh, and we clicked, so we were, why not be roommates? And ever since then, we've been great friends. I moved off campus, see the CA, so we're not roommates anymore, but we still keep in touch. We've made a good friendship over that, so.
Okay. So, how easy is it to get involved on campus?
It's super easy. Everywhere on campus, there's going to be flyers about something you might be interested in. So, like, I'm a business major, and I saw a flyer for auditions for Rocky Horror. Mind you, I did not know what Rocky Horror was. I set myself up. So, for those who know what Rocky Horror is, it's probably funny for you guys coming from a business major. But I said, oh, let me just try something different and unique. And, like, I came to try out. Like, I didn't know anybody because most of them were from the theater department and I actually made it in. I got in, so like I was able to join the theater and do a show in Rocky Horror. So like just giving that example, it shows like how easy it is to get involved because it was something that mind you, I can't sing. I can act and dance, but I just can't sing, and they still love me. So I feel like that's just like a great opportunity. Like you're always welcome to be anywhere.
And also, when you come, you will get an email, your own email set up with Password. And I think every morning there is a Password digest, and that gives you a list of upcoming activities, upcoming clubs that you can do, and it'll give you the information of where it is, and it's just easy to get involved. No matter what your major is, say I'm a business major, I could go to a biology club, and everything would be fine because I want to know more about biology, but I don't want to take the classes. Uh, Everyone's really welcoming, and there's clubs are a big thing, and they really help you have a great college experience.
Yeah. Another thing is like this weekend we have a bus trip to take you to Burlington, Vermont for like only $10. So like they pay for the ferry, drop you off at the mall, and you have like 5 hours to spend there, and they drop you right back off just for $10. So that's how easy it is to get involved. It's actually sold out now, but yeah.
Okay. So, what have you gained from your involvement on campus and the clubs and activities that you've been doing on campus at Blackfoot?
I gained so much knowledge, especially from little things like I never expected. Like I joined the economics club, and I learned like so many good ways of how to shop and save my money, which was like the best thing ever. And then that's why I wanted to pick up economics as a major. Then we have the Kinks Club, and like they give out free samples, so I learned so much about like hair products and how to take care of your hair. And I guess being in all those opportunities made me want to learn more. So I decided to go study abroad, actually 3 times, about to do a fourth one. But I guess just learning so much that Plattsburgh had to offer, I was like, yeah, let me get more involved. And I went to the global education, and I said, I want to go here. I came back from Brazil. They was like, okay, put you there, find it for the right price, scholarships, and send me off. And then make sure I come back here to graduate.
Since as I mentioned earlier, part of African Unity, and in African Unity, we really touch on different cultures, the similarities and differences between different countries in Africa, and we really have discussions on what different people's experiences are. And in addition to that, I'm also in the CEO Club, which is a collegiate entrepreneurship organization. And in that club, we talk about ways to basically be an entrepreneur, tips, and whatnot. So,
Okay. Can you talk a little bit about the safety on campus?
on campus, there's this blue light system, and basically, if you were to feel unsafe in any manner, you would press the blue light, and university police would be there with, within,
Less than a minute.
yeah, that quick. And since our campus is so, it's the perfect size. I don't want to say it's too small because it's not too small. It's the perfect size. The university police is always within reach.
Yeah, they make rounds every 10 minutes. They're like driving around campus and like certain, especially like every couple of hours, you'll see them walk around different buildings just to like roam around, just to make sure everything's okay if you need them or anything. But the safety is like really nice, especially for me as a woman. Like I don't feel unsafe walking at night, so like sometimes I leave the library 2 o'clock in the morning, and like I will walk back home and it would be by myself. Like back at home, I would get in so much trouble for that because I'm a lady and like it's dark outside, but I'm able to do that. And like the police station is like right there on campus. It's like in the middle between the dorms, the ACC, which is like the place where all the clubs and stuff are, and the library. So it's like right there.
Okay. So, can you talk about dining on campus? How's the food and what are the options?
Well, as a incoming freshman, you'll be exposed to basically the unlimited plan, and that plan allows you to go to Clinton Dining Hall, for example, where it's like a buffet style dining hall. You just swipe your card, go downstairs, and you have all this food, and it's unlimited food, and you could sit there for hours just eating. I remember my freshman year, me and my friends used to just sit there and eat and eat and eat, just sit there and talk for hours. And one good thing about it is they will not give you the same thing every day. They switch it up per day, and you will see a list like there are Taco Tuesdays, and things like that. And they also have a suggestion board, and they actually listen to
I would say that's where the freshman system comes from. You eat and eat and eat. But they also cater to your needs. So like if you're a vegetarian, they will have like a whole section just for vegetarians. And like if you don't eat, like let's say they have pork bacon, they will make turkey bacon within a second and like have a big tray of it. I love the pasta section because you get to like make any kind of pastas you want, and the salad place too because I add so much to my salad. It's basically not a salad anymore. But they also have a nutritionist to like keep you in place. So like if you want to watch what you eat and how much calories, you are assigned to someone for free too, and a personal trainer. And they basically tell you where to eat on campus and how much to eat, the portions of it, just so you can stay fit and won't get the freshman 15.
Yeah. How would you describe the student body here at SUNY Plattsburgh, and what's your favorite part about it?
Student body as in like the student associate, I mean the student government or like the diversity of. Oh well, student government is actually good. I was actually a senator my sophomore year, and basically like we cater to the students' needs. So we find out like what students want, and then basically we go to it. So like this weekend we have a trip to Burlington, Vermont, and that's because the student government like assigned the trip. Because it's like, what if you don't have a car and you want to go to Montreal or you want to go to Vermont? The school actually provides trips to them based on the student association, which is the government body. And like, so the trip to Vermont is, I think it's $5, and the trip to Montreal is $10. So you're going to another country just for $10. And they also have like big events that goes on, like they had this Halloween haunted house before, and during like Christmas, like we had a Frozen event, and I guess they just held a lot of party events.
And the student government also runs the campus, the shuttle that goes to the mall and rated that we spoke about earlier. And they also organize, say for example, during spring break or during Thanksgiving, they will organize a bus for students to purchase a ticket at like a quarter of the cost of Greyhound, and they organize that. They take you to Manhattan, Brooklyn,
Somewhere in Long Island.
yeah, and New Jersey as well.
Great. All right. So we'll continue the presentation. Thanks, guys. So requirements now, as far as getting into Plattsburgh, incoming freshmen typically have anywhere between about an 85 to a 91 high school average, anywhere from about a 1070 to an 1190 on the new SAT, and if you happen to take the ACT, anywhere between about a 2120 to 25. We also have the scores for the old SAT there as well, and for any transfer students, anywhere between about a 2.6 to a 3.4. Now, these are actually median scores, which means incoming freshmen at Plattsburgh, 50% of incoming freshmen at Plattsburgh have this, but that also needs another 50%, 25 above, which is awesome for anyone who falls within that bracket, and 25 below, which is still cool too, which allows you to still gain access to becoming a student at Plattsburgh. Okay. And scholarships. So we give well over $4 million annually to our incoming students at Plattsburgh as far as academic scholarship and grants are concerned. 43% of that money actually goes to incoming freshmen every year. So for right now, for our New York City students, we have two big scholarships. Our NYC Cardinal Grant, which pretty much guarantees any student who is a New York State resident and graduates from any of the schools within the 5 boroughs, $1,750 their incoming freshman year at Plattsburgh. On top of that, we have our Cardinal NYC Scholarship, which is a merit-based scholarship. So depending on where you fall, GPA and SAT or ACT-wise, that money could double to about $3,500 your incoming freshman year at Plattsburgh. And if you're able to maintain a 3.25 GPA while you're in college, that money is renewed to you every year as a student at Plattsburgh as well. Also, we actually do have an academic scholarship calculator on our website at plattsburgh.edu, where you can actually go in on the site, plug in your personal information, and it will literally calculate for you how much money you'd be eligible for scholarship-wise for Plattsburgh. Okay. These are also our deadlines for the fall. Applying for new freshmen, December 1st is the deadline. You actually can apply to SUNY Plattsburgh between either the Common App or through the SUNY app as well. Also, our deadlines for transfers are March 1st for you to start in the coming fall. Also for our housing deposit, as far as you becoming a deposit student, May 1st would be the deadline for that. Right. So, question: scholarships for transfer students. Yes, there are. Also, when it comes to our FAFSA, these are the breakdowns for our deadlines as well as filling out your FAFSA information for October 15th, and our FAFSA target deadline will be December 15th as well. Okay. So we actually just had our fall open house for October. It was pretty great. I'm also having another open house coming up November 12th, which is a Saturday. Also, for students who potentially cannot make up the open house that's coming up in November, you have the option of still being able to come and do an actual campus tour anytime during the week as well, and even some weekends. So typically, you would reach out to the admissions office directly to set that up and let us know you're coming, and hopefully we'll be able to do a campus tour for you. Also, for students who are actually accepted, we'll be having our spring bus trips for our accepted students in the springtime. So if you happen to be a student and a senior now, and you apply and you're accepted, you can vie to actually get a spot on that bus to actually go up to Plattsburgh through our bus trip as well. All right. So as far as online information, when it comes to our sessions, we actually have a list of that as well. And information in regards to our EOP program, financial aid, and any specific measures which are still going on, I believe. Okay. All right. So this is information about our social media. So our Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. The really cool thing that I actually like about these is we have our own hashtag. It's called PlattsLife. So you actually have the ability to actually go on to any one of these social networks, put in that hashtag, and see what people around the world are saying and talking about Plattsburgh. You can actually get their account of what they think and what they feel about Plattsburgh as well. And typically, if you're able to actually come on campus, I believe, take a picture, and hashtag PlattsLife, we actually will send you some Plattsburgh swag as well. Okay. So, as you can see, what sets us apart: a wide range of hands-on opportunities both inside and outside the classroom, small class sizes enough to build strong and personal connections, a unique location near recreation activities and metropolitan attractions, as you can see, diversity in all different facets within our students, academics, and student activities, as well as opportunities to discover new and exciting things that students carry beyond SUNY Plattsburgh. Strong family of alumni that also supports the university currently with our students and with future graduates as well. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. To end the panel, I just have one more question for our students. And guys, if you could think back to when you were applying to colleges, what was the process like for you, and what colleges did you each apply to? And how did you ultimately decide that Plattsburgh was the place for you?
The other schools I applied to were Pace University. I applied to Berry University down in Miami. Those were the two schools that really really caught my attention. But the Plattsburgh was actually one of the first schools that I got into, and ultimately it was the school I came to, obviously. But they made it very easy. Whenever I had a question about anything, I would just send an email, and I would get an email back within 12 hours. So it was really easy, really easy process. They really guided me through any issues that I had. And there were some other schools who didn't respond to certain emails, and you have to keep on following up with them. And that was one reason why I wanted to come to the school as well, was because they really, even over email, felt they made you feel like they really cared about you. So.
My college process was so stressful. Just thinking about it hurts my head. I wasn't prepared as much because I was procrastinating. But one thing I loved about the SUNY system is when you go onto the SUNY system, all you have to do is fill out one application, submit one essay, and then it sends it to all the SUNY schools. So applying to like Plattsburgh, Stony Brook, and Albany was a breeze for me because it was just a 1, 2, 3. And then like I had to go through the Common App to go send out my application to everyone else, and then the financial aid, the FAFSA, was just another stressful thing. But after sending it out, I mean, I got accepted again to UConn, Kentucky, St. John, Virginia Union State, and then a lot of CUNY schools. But the way I eliminated it is I knew not to stay in New York City because I would be completely distracted by the people I already knew and everything that happens in Manhattan in the city life. And then when I turned 18, oh, I'm definitely going to be in Manhattan at night all the time. So I knew staying in the city was not an option for me. And then going far out of New York was too expensive. So I knew I had to stay within New York, but not in the city. So that's how I ended up in Plattsburgh, and it's for a good price.
Awesome. Great. So thank you for both of your accounts. So yeah, appreciate it. We've reached the end of the presentation. For any students that are watching, if you have any questions, you can definitely email me directly if you'd like. My email is emmanuel.ake@plattsburgh.edu as well. If you have any other questions, the chat box is still open and active. You can send those questions to me right now as well. But we've pretty much reached the end of the presentation. Again, I want to thank our student panel for coming, giving us their time, and giving us their account and their opinions on things. And if you have any questions, like I said before, you can shoot me an email. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Hi. Thank you.